Hi, my name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be giving you a little crash course on Michelangelo. His full name is Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni. Again, that is Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni. A pretty long name for one person. He was born on March 6, 1475 in Caprice, Italy. Michelangelo didn't want to be known as a painter, and even though as a young boy he often skipped class to watch painters in a local church. Now, mind you, his family wasn't fond of their son pursuing a career in art, and they saw it as wasted time that could be used for other things, like helping in the farm or elevating their social status. Michelangelo continued to pursue art against his family's wishes, and found an apprenticeship with the Medici family, who were at the time the rulers of Florence, Italy. At 25 years old, the Cardinal Jean Villiers asked him to make a sculpture. Michelangelo was in fact confident in his sculpting abilities and ended up creating La Pieta, which was made from a single piece of marble stone, and it was completed in 1 year. Here's a picture of La Pieta. Isn't it beautiful? This incredible work of art depicts the body of Jesus on his mother Mary after the crucifixion. La Pieta is the only work he ever signed, and the art was criticized, particularly focusing on how youthful Mary looked, but was recognized by many church members throughout Italy and gave them peace of mind and a way to be comforted in the church. Another well-known work of art is Michelangelo's David. He began sculpting it 1 year after his previous work with La Pieta. The statue of David is 17 feet tall, made from one single block of marble, which also happens to be the whitest and purest marble in the world. This sculpture took him only 3 years to make, which is a very short amount of time considering it weighs 12,478 pounds and is made of solid marble. Michelangelo was a famous man for his work in his time, and he was so famous that in fact the Pope Julius II asked him to paint the Sistine Chapel, which the artist revealed to the world on October 31st, 1512. So here's the picture of the Sistine Chapel that was painted. And it's really beautiful, but in all honesty, it's actually pretty small in person. I actually have visited the Vatican in Italy, and I got to see a lot of Michelangelo's work. And although it is absolutely beautiful and detailed, when you look up at the ceiling, it's very small, and it's about a small little rectangular slab on the ceiling, followed by a few other couple rectangles surrounding it with detailed works of art. And even though it's very beautiful, I was pretty surprised to see how small it was in person. And remember how I said that Michelangelo didn't want to be known as a painter? The truth is, even though he had a magnificent talent for it, as you could see, his passion lied in sculpting, and he refused to paint. The Pope was aware that Michelangelo was not fond of painting, and decided to strike a deal with him. He asked Michelangelo to paint the Sistine Chapel, and in return, he would allow him to sculpt a tomb on the Pope's death, which is one of the highest honors an artist can receive at the time. So he agreed and painted the Sistine Chapel, which can still be seen in the Vatican City today. In conclusion, Michelangelo influenced the world through his art, which exhibited his knowledge of architecture, painting, sculpting, and engineering, and was widely praised and known as the greatest artist of the Italian Renaissance. Now that I've given you a lot of information about Michelangelo, I'm going to give you a little story. When Michelangelo was a young boy, he didn't get along well with his peers. There was one boy in particular who didn't get along with Michelangelo and was very jealous of his artwork. So they got into a little fight. Michelangelo ended up breaking the young boy's nose and disfigured his face permanently. So Michelangelo was kind of known as the bitter painter and sculptor in the Italian Renaissance. But that didn't stop him from making marvelous works of art. And one of his greatest quotes is that he says that no matter how far he's gotten in life, he's still learning. He died at the age of 89 years old, and that was a pretty long time for someone in the 1500s to live. He outlived a longer expected lifespan that most people would expect him to, which is an amazing thing. So I hope you enjoyed watching this little crash course video on Michelangelo, and if you want more information, there's more information on Michelangelo in a few museums that have actually come to Los Angeles recently, and also online.